Oh my gosh, are you wearing pink in here?
It's orange, dude. Orange.
Mom's orange.
This is my home. Get out now.
No, this is not your house. Now, what's your name?
My name is Bill Wilkins, and I'm 72 years old.
What do you make of that voice?
Sounds confused. Is he senile?
The voice on this tape is coming from an 11-year-old girl. They're calling it England's Amityville. There is a family that desperately needs our help.
After everything we've seen, there isn't much that rattles either of us anymore. But this one still haunts me.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Initial Reaction. My name is Philip.
I'm Charles.
And we are talking The Conjuring 2, James Wan following up The Conjuring, second sequel of the week.
James Wan, us 0.
Yes.
Am I right?
James Wan like 5 at this point.
Oh, so creepy.
What'd you think though? Initial reaction.
Creepy.
Yeah.
You're more of the horror fan than I am. Like, yeah. I feel like you and your wife see a lot more than I do.
She's a big horror fan. Yeah. And so
I don't look forward to these. I
was probably most excited about seeing The Conjuring 2 this week.
Yeah.
Out of all the 3 new releases.
Right.
So I was pretty excited about it.
So for not being in my wheelhouse and not being something I actually kind of don't, I don't know if I enjoy them.
Right.
I don't like being scared, but this one I enjoy when something is done well, no matter what it is. And this was done really well. It was creepy.
It's kind of gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he has a very distinct visual style.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's kind of crazy that he went from Furious 7 back to his kind of comfort zone.
There's no
of
action
horror
sequences in this one.
Well,
I take that back.
They're pretty intense when things start flying around.
Yeah.
But
literally.
Yeah, I don't feel like I was as high on the first Conjuring as most people were.
Right.
I mean, I enjoyed it well enough, and I could appreciate what people were pointing out about it that they really enjoyed. And there were a few solid scares. And I kind of feel the same way about this one. Like I liked it. Like there's a lot to like here.
Right.
And as far as the horror genre goes, there's a lot of, I guess a lot of the scary movies these days feel smaller. They're kind of micro budget stuff that because you can make scary movies on a tiny on a smaller budget than most other types of other genres of film. And in regards to that, this feels kind of epic.
Right.
It has a really grand scale to it.
Right.
And it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like there's a lot going on here.
It's pretty long.
Yeah. But still, even saying that, it felt like it drug a lot of the time, and it kind of repeated itself a little bit.
But the valleys came, like, just when you thought you were at the bottom of the valley, it peaked again. You know what I mean? Like, it did drag, it did get slower, but for a horror movie, I really I was just like, oh man, this is pretty good.
Yeah, and I wanted to, I wanted to feel like James Wan was giving us this slower pace so that we would get to know this family better.
Right.
And it does do that. It does have a lot of character development to it so that when those scares do happen, they really do kind of resonate with us.
That's another thing you keep in mind too, is that these are real people. It's based off of real stories.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like their real lives as haunted hunters or whatever they're called. I forget what they call them in the first one.
Oh, what the Warrens are?
Yeah.
I can't remember what the term was. It was kind of a silly term, but
that's why I was like, haunted hunters.
Demonologists or something like.
But the thing is, like, they're apparently Christians, I guess, because they're like, she always talks about her faith.
Yeah, very much so.
And is always like in the Father, name, and the Holy Spirit, and stuff, which you don't get until she says stuff like that. I mean, she'll like drop hints and stuff. You don't really think of someone that is psychic and also religious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those two usually clash. Or
and in especially exorcism films, you get a lot of like the Catholic iconography and stuff like that, and that is definitely present here as well.
Yes.
But yeah, it definitely. What I like most about The Conjuring and this sequel is the unique aspect about them is the Warrens.
Right.
Like they're able to serve the story in a way that it's like it's not just about this haunted house and the family that happens to move into this haunted house, but they provide this extra layer to it, and their relationship, it adds layers to the whole ghost story.
There's something that's stringing you along from the very beginning to the end. Like, you know, the Warrens are going to be there in the beginning, you know they're going to be there in the end. So you're watching them interact within this large set and large piece, large house. So, you know, not even a large house really, but like, but it feels big. Like you said, it feels large.
It does,
it feels like epic in a way that horror, I find that not a lot of horror directors do well.
Yeah, it definitely, the genre altogether feels like it's been lacking in something like this lately. And so it is kind of refreshing in a way. But also, just talking about the Warrens, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are pretty excellent.
Yes.
They're just really good. If they ever make an Elvis biopic, like cast Patrick Wilson as Elvis Presley. That dude killed it in this movie.
He really did.
And
did a full song.
Full song, yeah.
So, and I mean, there was cut scenes and stuff like over. I mean, it was
with the sideburns and everything. It was just he was selling it, man. And Farmiga, like you said, religious in a way that's not hokey at all. It's very convincing. It's very credible. Like you trust in her psychic abilities, which would sound crazy to say, you know, in real life. But you trust in them because she is so.
She doesn't care whether you believe her or not. They're doing these talk shows to help people, to inform people. They're going to these people's houses and not getting paid, and just to help these families.
Yeah, and that's why she comes off so credible, and they as a couple come off so, because you know they're genuine. Like they're genuine in their want to help these people out, and the actors really sell it. And it's just you don't have to sell this material. You know, if you don't. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like in horror movies, it's very easy to skate by on screams and just reaction shots and things like that.
Live from jump scare to jump scare.
But there is some serious emotional investment. You can tell by these two actors. And the kid actors are really good in this. There's no, like, pretension or, you know, they're not acting too old for their age or anything like that. It's very, very natural, especially given what is happening in their house. But no, it's definitely one of the better horror films I've seen. Definitely this year. There hasn't really been much this year, granted. So
it's the best one I've seen since like It Follows. I really liked It Follows.
No,
everything else is kind
too.
of a miss for me. So it's definitely good. So.
I really enjoyed it. But what would you give it initial reaction?
Like I said, not really a horror fan, but I was thinking 3.5 was like I don't want to say enjoy it, but it was
yeah,
good. It was good.
It's not when you can say like, I
enjoyed it.
Can't wait to experience
the demon takeover.
Yeah, no, I wish there was a little more momentum throughout the movie as there is in the last act, because that last act is pretty great. But so is the first one because of how much it is able to set up. So it still was kind of hit or miss for me throughout. So I would agree with you, 3.5 as well. I know we keep agreeing. One day we will disagree and fight.
It's coming.
It is
happens all the time off camera.
Apes guts.
No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, subscribe to our channel, Initial Reaction Reviews. You can read my written reviews at www.reviewsfromabed.com. Be sure to check back with us every week. We have a review of the biggest releases, especially during the summertime. We're hitting these out of the park, I think.
Yeah.
3 reviews this week. Definitely please check us out. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
You're going to die.